Phil Spencer, ladies and gentlemen. Our commitment to our fans is that we need to have a steady release of great games that people can play on our platform, and didn't do enough of that in 2022. There's no doubt. And fundamentally, that's on me. I'm the head of the business. And you know what? I find it very admirable that the head of the business, Phil Spencer, is willing to say something like that. I think it's refreshing that a man in charge or a person in charge, whomever it may be, owns up to the fact that, you know what? We didn't really do a good job. And doesn't try to hide it with, we'll look forward to what is coming down the pike. Though he does say that, he does say we're going to be having a great 2023, I think that it's pretty awesome that we're getting the truth. It's actually really awesome that we're getting the truth. Cross. Pretty good, right? So today on Coffee Talk, I want to talk about, is Xbox actually going to be doing better in 2023? Was the disappointment of 2022 the last straw? And, well, what about 343? That seems to be a huge issue. And so the first thing I'd like to say is yes, last year was pretty darn disappointing when it comes to Xbox releases. I personally am someone who advocated for the Xbox pretty heavily over the past couple of years. I think the Xbox Series S is a phenomenal system, and I still think it's a phenomenal system for many gamers. I don't know if I can still say most gamers, but many gamers. It's a great value play. As someone who owns all three, I own PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series S and the Nintendo Switch, I find myself gravitating towards, well, the PlayStation more. Now, admittedly, that is because I have been a PlayStation gamer for the majority of my gaming life, and, well, I have just a lot of titles on my PlayStation console. And that's just over the years and years of collecting. Some people have that exact same situation with Xbox. But I'm talking more about what is coming down the pike because I think it's important to look towards the future. Nostalgia is a thing that exists depending on how you look at it, and, well, just playing old games isn't necessarily going to hold you over. I mean, it certainly isn't the reason why you would go out and purchase one of these $500 consoles when you're purchasing it at retail. I know that me personally, purchasing a PlayStation 5, it was more to look forward to games, though I do end up playing older games, and they are updating graphics on some PlayStation 4 titles to make them more PS5 looking. That still isn't the reason why I purchased that console. I want to play new games. And so when it comes to the Xbox and its delivery of games last year, well, that leaves a lot of people who purchased the Xbox Series X wondering, did I make a mistake? Should I have gotten the PlayStation 5, even though they're hard to find? Should I have really invested more money in a different console? And to that I'd say, I don't know. I mean, yes, Xbox is lacking in quite a bit of games, quite a few games to be honest, and their big releases that 2022 was to hold got pushed to 2023, and we still aren't certain if 2023 is going to give us those games fully, although we're pretty sure. I don't trust any release dates at this point. The two games that we're talking about here are Redfall as well as Starfield. Those two games. Yes, two games. And those two games were the ones that we were looking forward to last year, I believe. Or was it just one? I can't remember. That being said, we're looking at this landscape of games going, ooh, how are we going to handle this? Now, we do have E3 coming up, and E3 does excite and delight a lot of us because there are some releases. It's also very disappointing at sometimes because those releases aren't always the best, and so we could be seeing something new. The concern of 343 is that there is lack of support for Halo Infinite, a game that had a lot of hype, and quickly the realization was there's not much there. There's some things here and there, but they just unfortunately weren't listening to the fans when it came to that game. And so Halo's support has been, unfortunately, lackluster. And so it leaves a lot of gamers going, are they really going to drop the iconic Master Chief and get rid of the very thing that makes Xbox Xbox? And Phil Spencer did go on to comment that they fully intend on supporting the Halo franchise, and 343 is at the heart of that. Now, the reassuring part is that someone is saying that they fully intend on supporting Halo. The part that leaves people shaky is, 343 is at the heart of that, and not everybody, in fact, a majority of individuals online didn't like 343's translation of the game, Halo Infinite. It was fun, but they weren't too impressed with what they offered. And so we are left wondering, is Microsoft, or Xbox for that matter, going to be able to deliver the gaming experience that the gamers who trusted Microsoft to deliver them a good gaming experience are wanting? Yes, are we going to be getting that gaming experience? And I'm going to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm not confident that we are. I don't think that there's anything wrong with Xbox. I really don't. And I don't think that there's anything wrong or inherently better about other gaming platforms. But I'll say that we do have a lot more content coming to other platforms. And while Xbox has very, very clearly made their services the priority, I think that unfortunately we're not gonna see the best gaming content experience that we all want for a little bit of time. Game Pass is an incredible service, a very rad service, but games with gold has become a joke. The games they release are pretty abysmal, and PlayStation really has been dropping some pretty dope free titles or included titles with their PlayStation Plus service. I don't think that PlayStation Plus isn't worse. Is worse. Better? Let me take a sip of my coffee. Oh yeah. I don't think that PlayStation Plus is necessarily better than Game Pass. But I will say that it does seem that even though it was released second, it is a bit more sophisticated. While the enticing games release, first-party games release with Game Pass day one is there, we have yet to get those games. And so we are sitting with an extremely high, big marketing thing, first-party titles day one included, when in reality, we are getting more third-party titles day 27 or 40 or 60 included. And so I think we got a lot more in store for us, but unfortunately, I don't think it's coming anytime soon. So, did you make a mistake buying an Xbox? Absolutely not. There's plenty of games to play. Is Xbox going to have 2023 as their year? I don't think so. If I had to give a year to this, if I had to give a console a year, I'm gonna try to remove my bias, because I would say Nintendo because of Tears of the Kingdom, but realistically that's not the case. If Nintendo drops new hardware, they get the year, hands down. I think this year is gonna go to PlayStation, simply because of content. They also are really trying to get more PlayStation 5s in the homes of gamers, which I'm not against. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll chat more down the line, but most of all,